Yo, Toby here, and welcome to the video of my take on Wolcen, the Lords of Mayhem. It's an action RPG game similar to Diablo 2 and 3, Path of Exile, and so on. And if you're looking for your standard review video explaining how stats and skills work, what's the purpose of this game, yada yada yada, just go and watch the N+1 other videos on YouTube that are hundreds of times better than mine. But if you like cringy jokes, anime and tits, you've come to the right place, my friend. This is going to be a personal review, skipping all the bullshit which actually has no effect on whether you'll decide to play this game. With all that out of the way, let's roll the intro and jump right into it. You can see the table of contents on the screen, and timestamps are in the description below if you want to jump to a specific topic. Quick intro to Wolcen. It's closer to Diablo 2 than Diablo 3 or Path of Exile. Currently it's in alpha, but it's officially going into beta in September, so probably wait out a couple of months before deciding if you want to buy it, unless you really want to support the developers. Or if you're like me and want to make a video on it despite being broke as fuck. What sets Wolcen apart is a classless system, which basically means that there's a lot of hybrid potential, like an assassin lightning magician, or a gladiator frost mage, or a barbarian sorceress necromancer druid. Well, perhaps not the last one, but you get the point. There's also a weird Umbra and Rage system where spending one generates the other and vice versa, unlike the common mana and health system, which are completely separate. But it's kind of whatever, I didn't feel any impact on the gameplay, to be honest. There's also a couple of other things like apocalyptic form, spells interacting with environment, but they're yet to be properly implemented, so we're yet to see if they end up changing the game in a meaningful way. Alright, with all that said, let's get into the details. I want to start with the thing I love the most, atmosphere. I'm a Diablo 2 fanboy, absolutely. That means I like dark and grim stuff. Needless to say, Diablo 3 disappointed me, as well as many others in that aspect, but hey, Wolcen actually does a fantastic job on that one. I was pretty surprised. It doesn't have all that flashy cinematic shit, numbers popping left and right, and even if the environment seems bright visually, it's not cinematic kind of bright. Oh, this is so nice. Oh dear god, this is so pretty. This is fucking... holy shit, this is seriously pretty. I like pink. I really like pink, if that makes any sense. And all of that is done while maintaining damn good graphics. I have no idea if they're better or worse than what current action RPGs can offer, but they're pretty damn close for sure. Pretty much a 10 out of 10 from me on this one. Skills. There's active and passive ones. Passive skills definitely deserve a lot of attention in Wolcen. You have a shitload of room for customization, you have different layers which you can switch, and you can literally be a gladiator, elementalist, hunter, and trickster at the same time. But it's probably not going to work too well, as you need to spend quite a few points on prerequisites to get to the good stuff in each layer. Still, hybrids are going to be a thing for sure, and it will take a lot of time to experiment with all the possible variations. Active skills. Similar to Diablo 3, you have runes for active skills, and extra customization is always nice. From increasing damage or, radius to changing how the spell works entirely. You also level up skills separately from your character, so that's an entirely new concept. You can buy those levels with a specific currency or just gain them by using a specific spell a lot, which I suppose is interesting and deepens the customization even further. As for the active skills themselves, I had mixed feelings about them. The thing I enjoyed about them is again the minimalistic aspect, because all those unnecessary flashes and dashes can alone easily turn a dark themed game into Dragon Ball Z. I'm not saying Dragon Ball Z is awful, even though I am, but that's just not what I'm looking for in an action RPG. I want the thrill, the horror, being uncertain that I'll survive the next battle, and all that exciting stuff. Anyway, the downside of spells is that they felt clunky, some pretty slow or not impactful at all, like Frost Nova. Sure, it does the job done, but the animation definitely needs some work. The most interesting spell design I found was Ice Lance. You basically select where to shoot it, and after a short delay the blue stick shoots there. I don't know about you folks, but this looks like an amazing design to me. It probably would take some time getting used to it, but you could do some really awesome kiting with this one. I also noticed that with lightning you can instantly turn around and shoot it, but it doesn't work the same with this fire whatever skill. I assume it's intended that way, and I actually like the fact that different skills, as similar as they look, have different conditions and requirements. Gear. Not much I can say about it since it's in alpha stage and I have no idea how that will look in the end, but there's one thing I really enjoyed and wanted to mention. Basically you have different slots for your right and left glove, and this applies to a couple other items as well, like shoulders. So all gloves are either meant to be the right one or the left one. In those slots there's no unisex items or whatever the word for this would be. It doesn't apply to boots though, but at the same time I suppose it would be pretty hard to wear and walk with two different boots.
I'm sexy and I know it.
Anyway, this isn't exactly a concept I've seen in any action RPGs, and I think it's a damn good one. Yet again, taking customization to the next level, so a big +1 for this one, as I don't think it has a single disadvantage. I'd be quite curious if somebody could name one. That would for sure make an interesting discussion. The playability or the gameplay overall. I was planning on giving it a pretty poor rating because playing felt extremely easy, but later on I found out that it's going to get a lot harder in the future. Essentially, you're currently getting twice as many stat points and 3 times as many skill points as opposed to what's planned, just so you could test more stuff out. So if you were to deal way less damage, scenes like this... Whoa, as I was fucking saying... Holy shit, fights like these would be freaking epic. And the best part about it, Wolcen can become a lot harder even without adding a shitload of monsters and making it a fireworks fiesta with all those jailing or laser mods and boss packs. I'm speaking for myself only, but games like Path of Exile or Diablo 3 feel like a complete face roll with quality gameplay. So much happening at any given moment that it feels like each decision separately barely has any impact. I'm not saying it doesn't involve any skill, I'm just saying it doesn't look impactful. I'd like to repeat what I said earlier in this video about atmosphere. All the flashiness, fireworks, huge numbers flying on the screen are killing the dark atmosphere for me and feel too cinematic. So yeah, I'd love to see Wolcen become more challenging without adding a shitload of random effects or simply increasing the amount of monster. The other thing about gameplay that I wanted to briefly go through is how the characters look, run and fight. If you're anything like me, you like your characters looking nice, you know, slim with big tits. Anyway, I tried creating a character to my taste. Suffice to say the results weren't what I expected. Basic attacks. Absolutely love the ones with staves. Different staves have different source of damage like cold, fire, lightning and others, and each source has a different attack animation. Not only that, they seem to go in sequences. Not sure if that was meant as a critical strike or all sequences have some bonus effect on their finishers, but regardless of that, Jesus Christ, it felt amazing. I was just happy smashing the basic attack without any targeting, and it already felt extremely fun. With that said, from the videos I've seen, the attack animations of other weapons weren't on the same level as with staves. So fucking epic! Jeez. Some had pretty nice sequences like this two-handed sword, but in my opinion they still need some work. Then again, I never was a fan of melee classes except for assassins in any game, so probably check those animations yourself before you make any conclusions. Lastly, the game is yet to have any voice acting, which made the game feel pretty silent in an awkward way, even with the volume turned all the way up. I never realized how much voices, and music for that matter, added to the games before trying out Wolcen. But hey, it's an alpha thing, as I don't think there was ever a game made without any voice acting. So what do I think overall of this game? I'm going to continue playing this. It caught my eye ever since watching it for the first time, and it felt right throughout my limited gameplay experience. The absolute number one thing for me is theme, which I think Wolcen nailed nicely. As long as they don't butcher the storyline and endgame, this might be the game I switch to from Diablo 2, but we'll see about that. Regardless of that, I do suggest waiting a couple of months for beta, as there's not much to do in the current state of the game, but hey, that's just my 2 cents. Perhaps you want to support the developers, which was partly why I bought this game. The second reason is obviously to make this video to become the number one YouTuber in case this game hits hard, making me one of the first ones to make a perfect review of it. How to not cringe at yourself. Embrace the cringe. Okay. Anyway folks, hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, a like and a sub would be much appreciated. And if you could let me know in the comments if you'd like me to try out other games, or perhaps some Diablo 2 mods like Path of Diablo, /Diablo and whatnot, it would probably sway me towards actually doing that stuff instead of continuing creating content about a 18-year-old game. Which obviously I still love to this day, that goes without saying. So yeah, hope you folks enjoyed it, have a lovely day, and hopefully see you in my next video. Cheers! Hey, it sounds just like you smashing that subscribe button after seeing this video.